Done yet. This weekend could be the Texas congressman's Alamo, because if the presidential candidate gains enough last-minute support from Nebraska's big GOP gathering tomorrow, he will be speaking at the Republican National Convention in Tampa. And I guess this, whether the Romney camp likes it or not, on the phone with us now is Congressman Ron Paul. Congressman, I always thought these speaking things were set in stone by the nominee, not necessarily.
No, in theory, not. The party has a lot to do with an RNC, and the rules have something to say about it too. On who gets the rules dictate who gets to be nominated, as well as not only for president but vice president as well. But I would say that the presidential nominee, especially if it's a clear-cut nominee, does have a lot to say about it. I don't think there will be a split between the RNC and the Romney camp on who gets to do what.
I don't care who they are. If they don't let you speak, I mean, they'd be idiots. I mean, and I don't think that'll happen. So I know there's a lot at stake tomorrow in Nebraska, and everyone's watching it. But I'd say that would be political suicide if you were relegated to the sidelines. That's my opinion. But.
You know, I would think you probably are right about it, because I'll try to be objective. I would think that if an individual has, a base where there's individuals like the young people who would like to come into the party, who had never voted, they're new, and they want to build a party, and they preach this thing about Big Tent. It's not like I'm preaching socialism. I'm preaching and doing the things and get credibility for doing exactly what Republicans claim they believe in. So it's sort of ironic that, well, we don't like these Ron Paul people because they don't vote to raise the national debt when you need to.
No, that would be very stupid. And whatever their discrepancies and differences over foreign policy, people can disagree. There's no doubting your supporters' passion and enthusiasm. You're the only guy I know, when we were covering you during the primaries and caucuses, Congressman, who get young people, Raz, talking about the Fed. That's impossible. If I could have done that in my financial journalism career, I'd be like the Jacksons. So I don't know how the heck you did that, but I don't think the Romney camp wants to risk alienating that group. Have you heard from the governor? Have you gotten any sense of what role you'll be playing in Tampa?
No, I haven't. Some of our staffs have talked, and that's indirectly and off the record and this sort of thing, and I've gotten the sense that maybe the party, the RNC, is more open to allowing me to have a presence there. And it's not on a personal thing, because I used to be accused all the time of Romney and I are too close of friends and all that kind of stuff, and that was true. But I think the Romney campaign organization is very insecure. They don't want anything. They want this thing to go smoothly, but all conventions like that. And this is the one thing that annoys me a bit, is they want this thing to go smoothly and be a big media event, and it costs the taxpayers $18 million, and they don't want a discussion. Why can't we have a little debate? Why wouldn't that energize people?
No, I agree with that. But by the way, a quick take on this talk that Condi Rice has moved to the top of Governor Romney's VP short list. What do you think of her? What do you think of that?
Well, I was really, really surprised that is the case. I would be pretty amazed if she were to be picked. So,
what would you think if she were? You're not a fan, obviously, of the whole
Iraq
war.
No, I mean, I can understand philosophically why she might, because even though she talked about, along with Bush in the year 2000, about a humble foreign policy, and I thought, wow, maybe we're going to get a humble foreign policy and no nation building, but it didn't turn out that way. So she would fit the bill for him, but it wouldn't help the Ron Paul supporters, because they would like a different foreign policy. We'd like a foreign policy that George Bush talked about in the year 2000. No nation building.
But you're saying that your supporters wouldn't like her as a pick.
That would be my guess, but I don't dictate anything to anybody. And but that would be my guess. They're not going to be. They wouldn't be very happy with her because she represents a foreign policy quite different than what energizes the college campuses today.
Okay.
They're not people who are looking for another war and pay for another war. They know the country's broke, and they don't like what the Fed's been doing and this sort of thing. One thing for sure is the Fed we won some fights there, because we're going to get this passed in the House here in the next week or so, and it should pass rather easily. So there is a strong sentiment for monetary reform, and I think it's very bipartisan. So I sort of enjoy the economic issues where you can get some Democrats and Republicans coming together.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow, Congressman. As always, a real pleasure.